Hey guys, and welcome back to the pajama party. Pajama party. Do the sprinklers. Pajama party. Pajama party. Pajama party. Oh, 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 welcome back, friends, to A Pox Perspective. If you're listening again on the podcast, thank you for listening in. If you're joining me on YouTube, welcome. Thank you for coming to see my beautiful face. Don't hate. Let me hype myself up, okay? Because self-love is my theme. One of my themes for this year. Also, check out the roads coming out. Like, I need to re-dye it, but I'm gonna wait till Valentine's Day to put it back red because I'm really feeling this. And yes, but I hope you guys had a great week, a great weekend. Thank you for joining me for another episode. Today we're gonna be talking about, really, I want to finish up some things that I did not say last week because, as always, I rambled too long. But the theme for this week is disappointment. And one thing I just kind of wanted to talk about from last week, I mean, it'll fit into today's theme as well, but about being disappointed as a Black woman, whether it be with your friends, with your job, all of that jazz. Let's get into it so it'll make more sense. So I was having a conversation with my cousin 2 weeks ago, and I'm not going to put the whole conversation in here, or like everything that was said. I'm not going to name her out because the moral of the story is the conversation that we had. I even talked to my mom about it. But it was really because if you have not watched last week's or need a recap or anything like that, last week I talked about K-pop and Black people, and I came to the conclusion we do not hate around here. Anybody can come back from anything. My best friend Dandelion said that this past weekend, and she was right. Anybody can come back from anything. And honestly, the more I go to church and, like the Lord deals with me, especially on my own time reading the Bible, the more I realize that you really do need to extend grace to people. And at the end of the day, you're not even really doing it for them. You're doing it for you, okay? Because you get rewarded for that stuff. But I mean, whenever you feel like, oh, I just can't forgive them, just think, the Lord forgave you. And you wanted people to forgive you. Don't sit there and act like you ain't did nothing. Don't sit there and act like you got golden cookies. Because we done all did some things that we like, if I could just take that back real quick. You know what I'm saying? And so that is why I don't mind forgiving acts. And just forgiving people, Because I've wanted to be forgiven for some things that I've done strictly out of being hurt or afraid, and at the time I didn't realize I was lashing out, but I was, And so with that being said, I was talking to my cousin about really Black women and like the notions around Black women. Some of the things that I've heard about us sisters is that we are too loud, too ghetto, we have attitudes. We are really aggressive. We are masculine, and judgmental. And I don't know, guys. Like, I draw blanks because, first of all, I know some pretty loud women of other colors. I'm gonna just say that, okay? Famously and unfamously, I know a lot of loud females, okay? And not only that, but, so I'm gonna just put it like this. The conversation was that, yes, some Black women are like that. But I don't agree, or I just feel like as far as a lot of characteristics that were thrown on us were just mislabels, like sure there are some women that are a piece of work. I'm gonna just put it like that. Those are valid points, but I also have tried to make this generalization, or this, I'm going to challenge your thinking today. I'm not telling you to accept it. It would be nice if you could think about it. One thing I've been told is, um, like, I don't really care if you accept my opinion. Well, I kind of care. I mean, if you don't accept it, that's up to you, but I would at least appreciate being heard as I listen to people, because, I mean, how are we ever going to grow or truly learn one from another if we don't listen one to another? And truly, a lot of problems can be solved in this world if you would just communicate and take the time to listen and really open your mind and think about what the other person is saying. Not saying that they're always right, but still, every day you should learn something. If you get to a point where you're just wise and nobody can tell you nothing, then what are you doing here? Because no, we're all growing and evolving every single day. But I feel like a lot of things that I have been told or been had labeled on me has been what people saw in movies, you know? First of all, I am not that loud. I am shy, and it's hard for people to believe that, but I can't even hold eye contact with the opposite sex half the time. I can't hold eye contact with my sex half the time, and I'm just like a crumbling mess. Part of that is confidence. Part of that is I just get nervous really quickly, you know. And if I'm with my friends now and I'm having a great time, yeah, I might laugh loud. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not, girl, we do not do that in this household, okay? And so I was trying to convey the thought that a lot of things is us being mislabeled. And two, my logic and my thinking is, if people tell you you are something for so long, you'll start believing it. Case in point, me. I got told I could not sing. I got told I looked like I told you last week, I looked like my clothes came out of a trash. I've been called a lot of just horrible things in my life. You know, I got told for 2 years how I was so selfish and inconsiderate, and I only think about myself, and you know, how can nobody else not argue with me? I have to be the problem. Like, it's always me. I'm too emotional. You know, just all these things. And I believe that. And it got stuck so in my head that now I have to unlearn all those things and really believe that I am not what that person said about me. So I know labels, there's power in the tongue. And people don't realize that. But you keep telling somebody they're a deadbeat or a nobody, pretty soon they're gonna feel like that is all they are. Now, I am not gonna say that some women don't need to work on their attitudes, but in general, that's for every race. It is not just a black woman thing. A lot of women in a lot of races need to work on their attitudes, and not just women. A lot of men and a lot of races need to work on your attitude. I'm an equal opportunist offender in this household, okay? So anyways, but I got to thinking more about just like what is said about us. And one of the biggest things that I hate is for somebody to say that because I'm thick, I'm out of shape and I am masculine, because those things are not true. Now, I did used to be out of shape. I ain't gonna lie to you. But when I was smaller, I was still out of shape, okay? Just your baby is out of shape, all right? And I am one of the most feminine people I know, okay? I am a girly girl. Like, no. I am a girly girl. Raw meat used to give me the heebie-jeebies. Cooking used to stress me out. I will not touch that. No. You know, I paint my nails. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like jewelry. I like the bling. I'm feminine. I am very feminine. I do not like people telling me that I am not feminine, you know, or like I'm not soft, because I'm a baby, okay? And maybe I shouldn't be boldly proclaiming those things, but that is who I am. Like, I like to be babied. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like all that jazz. Like, I am a hopeless romantic at heart. But I've been told a lot of things that people assume about black girls, even from guys that were interested in me. And I was just like, you're lying. Because who told you this? And why would you believe it? Like, I've been told by other races that, they've been told by black girls that just, I only like black men, or like, you gotta be this buff and da da da. I don't care about none of that. And I don't think a lot of black women do. You just gotta treat me right. I mean, like I say, it is just weird what people will label you. And I just feel like one thing I'm seeing in society is, and I told my mom this, I feel like a bitter black woman sometimes, because when I see how we are done or portrayed, I just get angry. And I've really had to let the Lord work on me with that, because I just get mad for no reason. Like, it is just an endless cycle of rage for nothing, and now I am the angry black woman, but it's because y'all. That was a joke, by the way. I'm not gonna go on like a tangent, but so I have been disappointed as a black woman many times in my life. And I want to talk about some of the experiences that I've went through here lately with other races, because it's just been a thing. So I started working in preschools back in 19. Now, one thing I don't like in general is if I do something, and I've had to get better at this, and somebody else immediately replicates it, I get offended. I get so offended. How could she do that? She knew I had these braids first. Or how could she wear that style? She knew that was my style. You know what I'm saying? Just off the deep end for nothing. Never once did I start to think that, like, man, they may have been really inspired by this. Or like, man, maybe they thought about doing it too. And because they saw me, they got confident. You know what I'm saying? Like, it always had to be in a negative connotation. And I think that that's because of really how I grew up. High school, junior high, school in general was not a fun experience for me. I think we've highlighted that a lot on this channel. I had a very triggering childhood, okay? But when I left this one daycare and went to another daycare, I made friends with two girls that were my race and two girls who were not. One of them was my lead teacher at the time, and she was just wrong. I'm gonna put it like that. I tried to be her friend. I tried to be nice to her, but she talked about me behind my back. I would try to like help her do curriculum and stuff, but she would redo what I did for her. And then one time I even did something, I think it was like for Mother's Day or something like that, and she didn't even want to use what I had did. Though I spent my time to help her out and design this thing, she did not want to use what I had made. And a lot of that stuff, it really upset me. And it made me feel offended because she was white and I was black. And I felt personal about it because it's like, first of all, you're younger than me. And I'm sitting here trying to help you and be a good closer for you. And you're treating me like utter crap for no reason. And then I hear from other people that you have stuff to say about me in your mouth, but you can't even come and confront me about it. And then my mom has always told me, stop telling people what you make at your jobs. I obviously don't listen. I overshare a lot. And she went and complained to the boss about it because she felt like I was making too much money to be a closer and she should be making more. And it was just a thing, And I remember there was another girl next door to her. She had weird energy too. And it kind of almost became like a competition. And then what I didn't really like about the other girl is whenever I would go in her room to help her or anything, she made it a habit to talk about all the black men she was seeing. Lady, I don't care. You see who you want to see. Like, you don't have to impress me with those things, Like, I don't care about your body count, And so even after I left there, and I, came and relocated up here in North Texas. Ooh. But I came up here to North Texas. I'm gonna just say this. I'm in the Dallas area. So, you don't get my look at, but you get to know I'm in the Dallas area. And Dallas, Oklahoma area. But so at this new job, I met this one girl, left field. Okay. She is white and Vietnamese, I want to say. And I'm not going to call her by name. If you're watching this, I'm not going to call you by name. And once again, it's up to me to say yes or no. I mean, with the ethnicity, they probably know who I'm talking about. But then again, I still have the right to say yes or no because I could have made this up. How you know? But when I first met her, I thought she was amazing. I wanted to be her best friend. She liked anime. I loved anime. Everybody saw my My Hero Academia shirt. I don't come for me, okay? It's hard to say that word. But yeah, we bonded, we became friends. And what I really liked about her is she would always say oh, well, I have that black family, so I thought she was a woke person. I'm like, okay, she's down with my people. She would do great at defending me when I was around. But as months went on, I started to see her for her. And I was like, and then she, this is going to be I'm going to say it anyway. I used to give her money to go and buy me weed. And at first it was great. She would give me, big stacks. But as the last time came that I bought from her, she had scarcely diminished what I paid her $120 for. What I paid her wasn't even $60 worth of what she gave me. And then when she came and spent a night with me, she rolled out of my stash and left me with even less. And it was just crazy to think I would go through that or get done like that. And like I said, to have it done by another race was just even worse. I let her do my hair, which for me, that's a thing, because I don't just let people in my head. These locks, baby, no, okay? I was raised to know not everybody could be in your hair. But because she had black family and because she portrayed herself to be this close girl to me, I gave her rights that I didn't give other people, and even there being the lead teacher of the school I was at, they did things that made me feel as a black woman, I was not appreciated. The first thing was we had to work last Martin Luther King's Day. Everybody else was out. All the other schools surrounding us was out. We had to go for training. Nobody said Happy Martin Luther King Day. When Black History Month came around, my job didn't want to do nothing for Black history. They didn't say nothing about Black history. I gave them ideas that I wanted to do about it, but it was just yeah, if you want to do that, okay, fine. But when Women's Month rolled around, all of a sudden, everybody wants to be included. All of a sudden, everybody wants to do something. When I had went in and there's these flowers that J Balvin had on his album Colores, because that's Bay right there. And I hand drew those flowers, cut out the petals, put them on everybody's cubbies, my kids' cubbies. Then I made a jukebox by hand, wrote out a track list y todo, okay? And then the girl that was working with me, she made out discs and we put them on a board. They trashed our theme. Nobody once came and asked me. Nobody said good job. They trash talked it. I heard about some more people talking and my what is she? So she's not the CEO, but she's right under her. I can't think of her title right now. But our curriculum director, she's kind of like a curriculum director. She was pretty much like the head honcho. She did the hiring and firing along with my boss. But so she was in the office with the other staff just talking about us, okay? And I had issues with these things because, once again, I'm one of the only few Black people there. And this is how you treat me. But you're talking about equality and all this and that jazz. But y'all don't treat me like I'm equal, Um, I had some parents talk to me one time like I was a girl, and because they were white, that made me even more mad. And then let me tell y'all what my boss did to me. This is the highlight story right here. One of the highlight stories. I had a baby in my class. We're gonna call him C-Man. And C-Man went home and told his parents. I told his parents first. He wasn't listening to me. So when they got home, they asked him about it. He told them, yeah, he wasn't listening to me. But then he said that I hit him. That I slapped him or something like that. Or that I think it was that I slapped him. Yeah. And my boss called me into the office and told me. And she said, well, I know that you didn't do it, but if they would have wanted to press charges on you, I would have had no choice but to open a case against you. So you know I'm innocent, but to appease these white parents, you, who are also a minority, are going to open up a case against me. Never mind the fact that this is a 3-year-old kid. Never mind the fact that none of my other kids has ever said anything like that about me as a teacher or even complained about me. I was nominated for Teacher of the Year. And like, yeah, I know people can be nominated for all that stuff and still be like heinous. But I love my kids. She don't even know I took this picture. I snatched this picture. I love my babies. Okay, they are my worlds. Like, I would never do anything to hurt them. That little boy just did not want to listen. That was his issue, and he was mad. And I even told him, I'm like, Jesus is gonna be very sad with you. And I shouldn't have did that, because I shouldn't tell no baby. I shouldn't use the Lord against nobody or no baby. So that was wrong of me. But I just wanted him to know, like, the Lord is seeing you. The Lord is seeing you do wrong, but he didn't grasp that. 3-year-olds do not care. And so, yeah, that was kind of my final straw with that job. I mean, other than I was going to Korea, I was like, even if I didn't go to Korea, I'm leaving this place. But, you know, it is just disappointing to go through that as a Black woman because, like I said, my boss, she is from, you know, overseas. She is a minority too. Like, you know what this struggle is like. And you're going to throw me under the bus like that? And she would always be like, you got to remember... Or she would tell us, like, to make others feel included and to not be, like, segregated from them and stuff because they know what it's like to feel like racism and tension and stuff. And I'm like, I'm a Black lady. My ancestors were slaves. What do you mean? Understanding how they feel. You don't think I know how they feel as a Black woman? Y'all, I'm telling y'all, I was at a loss for words a lot of time with that job. I really was. And there was just so much. I don't understand why in a job full of women working with babies, everybody is so mean. I will never get that logic. I'll never understand it. And so it is just really hard for me, I'm speaking this as a Black woman. To me, it's hard to go through life and even try to build bonds with new people. Because I found out that the girl who was like being close to me, I don't really know if this is true or not. But basically, if she's telling me the absolute truth without diving too deep in her story, she basically copied me. Top to bottom, copied everything I liked because that's part of like her traits. That's what defines her. I'm gonna just say that. You know, she goes to the doctor for it or whatever. But yeah, she copied me from head to toe. Everything. Then when I left the job, because first of all, she never would spend a night with me, but I would go stay at night at her house always. Well, and then until, I don't know if I'm going to talk about that story, but my mom found out some things. She was like, you will not go back. And I was like, you right on, I will not. And she was like, why would you want to go back? And I was like, once again, right on, why would I want to go back? But you know, my mom, she's very protective and was just like, no. But after that, she was supposed to come over, give me my birthday present. I mean, she was all over Snapchat telling everybody like, oh, for my best friend, I'm gonna give this to her. Y'all, she opens up this makeup she was gonna give me and plays with it. Then the next day at work, oh, I left it at home. Then she was supposed to mail it to me, because I gave her my address. Still nothing. And then I get on Instagram and she's basically shading me. And I don't know if she knew that I saw it. So if you're watching this and you don't know what post I'm talking about, good. But it's crazy because I've always just wanted to have friends. I don't care what race. I just want friends. Both my best friends are Latinas. I love both of them to death. And at one point, I did want a really good white friend because those are rare. And I wanted a really good black friend because those are rare. But in general, what I have learned since I've opened my mind, it is just hard to have friends. It's hard to be involved with people who say they care about you and they don't. Especially because, like, at least for me, when people get around me, it's like they put on this facade. They try to act tough or like, girl, like, they're like that. Or they try to put their foot down or be big and bad and like talk about it. I am not one to boast or like, if I'm angry or I want you to know that I feel angry, I don't do all that. I mean, I'm more of like, I talk about my mom, but I feel like I have some of her characteristics too, and it gets stronger every day. But if I will let you sit there and think that you're doing something great, I don't have to raise my voice at you or yell. You will know when I feel offended. Even with like my boss. I remember the last time that I went and saw her face to face that I had to like put my foot down about some stuff with her and another lady. I had always been nice, had always been sweet because that's me. I'm not going to just put my foot down unless you keep pushing me past the limit. And so with them, they had pushed me past the limit because, like I told them, so what had happened in that situation was another parent had pulled her kid out and she was working there. And I'm not even touching that whole thing with a 10-foot pole because no. But basically, the lady went and told my boss one thing, and because they were best friends, my boss came at me a type of way. And then somebody else had told my coworker in the class with me one story, but then when I asked about the story to the mom, the friend, she didn't even know what had happened, baby. It was a lie to begin with. So now I'm on trial instead of the other teacher because of what was said, but you as the front office lady was the one who messed up. So why am I on trial here? And it's crazy because I feel like I went through a lot of things at that job, and I always say it's because I'm a black woman, but I really felt like it was because I was a black woman, and I knew there was one other girl there, but she was loud, okay? Everybody's business was her business and everybody else's business. I found out too much business through her, okay? Because she said other people's business out loud and then lied about it, okay? And then the front knew she was doing this stuff, but they kept her there and let her do it anyways. I digress. And so, when all of that crap was happening, like I said, I didn't hang out with her. I was like, I'm going to stay to myself, stay to my own little island. My coworker would be like, you didn't know about this and that? No, because their business is not my business, and I don't want to get in their business. And that's a note right there for somebody listening in. You go to work to go to work. They say that they're your friends. They are not. You really need to be careful with coworkers when you call them friends because, baby, they're lying. And not all of them are, but from what I've seen, a friend and a coworker, to have one and the same, it is very rare. So just please take your time to know people because people are scary, man. They'll hype you up and build you up in a minute to tear you down quickly. And so, going forward, I just want to be a little bit, I guess, more open-minded who I let in my circle, like who I just let around me, because I don't know, sometimes I feel like people try to have me as a friend just for token perks, like, oh, I got a black friend. But I mean, I'm so much more than that. Like, okay, yeah, I'm a black girl that likes anime, but so what? Like, there's so much more to me as a person, And when I carry myself, I always try to carry myself like a woman because that's how my mom raised me. That's why I was lead teacher. That's why the kids love me. it was because I was good at my job and I was a good teacher, you know? Like, that's why I was nominated for Teacher of the Year. And I still keep in contact with one of my babies because she's just a joy. She's my best friend. She's my best friend, you know? And I walked away from that job with a lot of stress, with a lot of anger, and with a lot of resentment with things going on there. You know, I got a lot of like backhanded compliments, and not even just there, but I've gotten backhanded compliments like, you're pretty for a black girl. Why can't just be pretty? Oh, you're big, but you're beautiful. Why can't I just be beautiful? You know, like, why are there all these connotations around me? And I feel like when people see me, they either misjudge me because I'm black, or they misjudge me, well, really because I'm black. Because I'm black because of what they've heard, what they've seen, or they assume that all black people are the same, which I don't understand why literally no other race is characterized as being the same, but all of a sudden all the black people are the same. No, we are not. Okay? No. We are all our own individual people, and we have our own feelings, our own emotions, and we want to be treated with respect. And I promise, I do not try to get up here sounding so like pitchforks and stakes and crosses and stuff. I feel like the Lord gave me a platform to rant and say what I feel, and and I just go with it. But even after all of that is said and done, I would like to say that, if you're thinking like, oh man, I'm just gonna have straight black friends, because I have had some friends that's walked out on me that's been black, that's been white. Really, don't look at color. You really need to start looking at people for their personalities, because a lot don't care what skin color it wears. If it wants to tell itself, it's gonna tell itself, Same with the truth. It doesn't care what skin color it wears, because once again, love comes in all shades. Love is universal. And even though I was mad about a lot of things that I went through with old people, I mean, I've forgiven them. I've let it go, because what good is that going to do me to keep holding on to it? Even if I knew that they were trying to copy me or, be in with me just because I am black. But so what? Like, you cannot live your life holding on to anger and resentment from other, like, that you feel for other people. It's not gonna get you anywhere, and you walk away feeling upset. I could still to this day be mad about my weed, but for what? Like, it's not gonna change anything. It happened, and I'm the type of person, sometimes I will confront issues, sometimes I don't. I just let it die out, because I don't feel like everything needs to be addressed. And quite frankly, I don't want to give my energy to address everything. I just rather let it go. So sometimes I don't even speak out loud about when I know people offend me or do something. Just let it ride. What is getting into an argument about it gonna accomplish or solve? That baby gonna be that baby regardless of what you say. And I mean, maybe you can help change somebody, but once again, that baby ain't gonna change until that baby is ready to change. And so this episode was about disappointments, but like I said, I also want to end it on a positive note and just say, be careful with who you trust in general, because it is not just a black thing, it's an everybody thing. People, and it's not even people, we fight against spirits and principalities and high places, so it's them spirits and them people that you're fighting against. But you just have to be careful who you let into your heart. And I just wanted to pour into black women in general on this episode and say, if people tell you like you're not womanly enough or feminine enough, or maybe like you're weird, maybe you like weird things, maybe you like to read all day, maybe you like to watch Russian, that is your business, okay? Don't let other people tell you what you can and can't enjoy. Don't let other people tell you how to live your life, because baby, it is yours. And if I was you, I would have, well, you're not me, and this is not your situation. It is mine, so let me do what I want to do. there is a difference between, because sometimes I'd be like, well, if it was me, I have said that to my friends before, but it's never, I at least feel like it's never been in a negative way. Like, I'll give you my opinion, but ultimately it is your decision. And I recognize that fully. But it's different being like, okay, well, if, this is how I feel about the situation, but you didn't being like, girl, I would never, and I can't believe you, and how could you, because if they were you, they probably do that and more. Okay, that is what I learned. Don't listen to these people. Do not listen to these people. And watch, there's gonna be somebody in the comments like, well, you just said, nope. I'm telling you, make your own choices. It is okay to get opinions from people that you trust, like close friends and stuff, but at the end of the day, you decide what you want to do, because it's your life and you get to live it, and nobody else gets to write your story but you. And when you die, nobody else gets to stand judgment but you. You have to answer for everything you do in this life. So that is why I choose to do good and to be a light and a source for somebody else, because it's my life and that's what I want to give back to people. And so thank you for coming on this rant and this little tangent. I try to tailor my stuff to make sense or coexist with one another. But really, like I say today, if I could, I guess, narrow this down into bullet points, it's just one, always watch in any work setting anybody who gets too close or wants to know all your business but won't tell you that. Even if they tell you theirs, don't tell them yours, because they're going to go back and tell somebody else your business. I honestly thought that my coworker was my best friend, that she would keep my secrets. Girl, I always got your back and I'm down for you and I do anything for you and nobody better not ever talk about you. But the whole time she was the main one running her mouth with her friends about me. And it's just like, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. So yes, be careful. Don't tell anybody your minimum wage, okay? If your boss is paying you good, zip it. Every time, and the second time, honestly, it just slipped out about like how much I was making, because I assumed me and a girl was making the same thing. We were not. She went back to my boss and was like, well, Victavia's getting this and that, so I feel like I should get this and that because I've been working here this amount of months. And first of all, we weren't even on a wavelength. I was lead teacher. But anyways, just be careful with people, man. If that's my advice for this week, be careful with people. And for anybody who may watch this and is not black, stop saying black women are masculine. Stop saying we ain't soft. Stop, because you can rub on me and I am very soft, okay? Look at that. That is a no-no. But stop saying we are not soft. Stop mislabeling us, or stop judging everybody for the one that you encountered, because we didn't do it to you, okay? I am not baby girl. Y'all relationship and y'all business and y'all history is y'all's. I don't have nothing to do with that. And that's really my theme for any race. Do not judge me off of somebody else's actions, because I am not that person. And until I show you otherwise, I should be innocent until proven guilty, because I give you that same grace. So thank you so much for coming to my TED Talk, my little rant. I always feel better after I talk about these things. I don't know. I hope this helped you. I hope this helped somebody at least feel like, well, dang, man, I wasn't the only one. People will get over on you, since I've started like recording consistently, I want to do, most of the people that hyped me up and told me like, yeah, girl, yeah, they're nowhere to be found. They don't talk to me. They'll view my stuff and act like they didn't see it, and it's just sad, because when people pull away from you, you feel like maybe you did something wrong. Like maybe you're the issue, but you're not, baby. I promise it is not you. It is truly them. And until your group comes, honestly, pray to the Lord and ask him to put people in your life that he wants in your life, because it's so much better when he puts people in your life. Like the two that I have in my life, I know without them here, I would not be as knowledgeable as I am, as goofy as I am, because I feel like they bring out the best in me. And I am just grateful that even though I didn't have like the perfect friend through other, like, or I try to, I guess, look at races, my best friends are my best friends, and when I grew up, people were always like, you can't be friends with other races and nobody's gonna understand you like a black woman. My babes understand me just fine because we are all down with the brown, okay? But really, guys, I hope y'all have a great weekend. I hope y'all next week is really great. Please know that you are not alone in this. I've been through my fair share of things, and this is just a few examples of disappointments I've had in the workplace, disappointments I've had with people as friends of other races. So no, it's not you. And you are valid and feeling angry, but don't let that anger consume you. Don't let it take hold of your heart, and don't get sad or depressed behind things and feel like you are the issue, or that you are alone, because you're not alone. I know how you feel. I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there just waiting to hold your hand and to be the best of friends with you. And until then, the Lord is right there. He is your best friend. He is your refuge. He is your rock, and He loves you, and He will hold your hand. He will direct your path, and He will put the people in your life that's meant to be there. And remember, some people come in seasons. Some stay for a little bit, some stay forever. But the Lord knows why, and He will tell you why if you ask Him. I believe it. If you're meant to know, He will tell you why. So thank you so much for listening, guys. Please like, subscribe, comment. Please talk back to me. Let me know how you're feeling, what you want to hear me talk about. Thank you for listening in on the podcast. Like I say, you can follow me on Instagram at Shaychon, on TikTok at Shaychon, but I will warn you, those are mostly content looks like face paint ideas and stuff like that. Check out my other podcast called The Real Bible Stories. And until next time, I have been your rambling host, Victavia. I love you so very much, and please remember that Jesus loves you as well, and He will always hold your hand. Good night, guys.